It wasn't me.
It says Riley was here.
Or maybe it was another Riley.
You dropped these pictures, and, you have paint all over your hands.
Riley, graffiti is a serious crime. Now, as the assistant district attorney, I'd have to arrest you and send you to jail. And you wouldn't want that, would you?
No, 'cause I remember when you got arrested that one time and you was crying 'cause you thought they were gonna rape you.
I don't exactly remember it happening like that.
Yeah, it did. The way you was talking, they was finna wear that ass out.
Okay, so we're all agreed that none of us want to go to jail.
And then there was something about a salad or something.
Yes, salads. For dinner. They make you eat vegetables every night, and they're not delicious at all.
Hey yo, what's going on, guys? This is your girl D Brady, and you're listening to another episode of Liquid Era. Thank you for listening, tuning in, subscribing, rate, write a review, just interacting with me so far. This is going to be my third episode, and I'm super, super happy that I am being consistent with this. I'm like, y'all understand how I'm planning this. But anyways, I'm dedicating this episode to Riley Freeman. Okay. This episode is about stepping outside of your comfort zone. So, if you don't know already, which you should, but Riley Freeman is obviously a fictional character off of the best show ever on earth, Boondocks. And he is one of my favorite fictional characters, not because like he's funny and stuff, but just because he did dumb stuff, but he wasn't scared to do it. He stepped out of his comfort zone. So every time you watch Riley, he is an adventure. And I love it. I love adventure, obviously. Um, and those moments where you're taking a risk and you don't overthink is the best moments of your life. So I feel like Riley had like the best life. So I'm dedicating this podcast to him, this podcast episode, sorry, to him. And also every month I'm going to try to um, dedicate a playlist. So I'm going to drop a Riley Freeman playlist basically on what I think Riley Freeman would listen to. And hopefully y'all vibe with it. If you don't, I do. Shit. So whatever. But I'm gonna get into um what I do to what I'm going through, what I've went through already, um, to step out of my comfort zone. And I'm gonna give you guys steps, advice on how to get out of your comfort zone, things that I'm currently going through right now as well. So bear with me, okay? So, like I said in the first episode, Liquid Era, I started Liquid Era my sophomore year of college, but I never publicized it until January, obviously, 2020. Why? Because I was not only afraid, but I had no clear vision for it, obviously, no plans. And Liquid Era for me kept changing up. But at the same time, yet again, main thing is being afraid. Um, because I didn't have a plan, my mind, I overthink things. I always have to have a plan A, B, C, and D. And when I don't, I freak out and I shrink. So, not knowing the unknown at times causes me to stutter step. And I'm currently working on that because in the business that I am in, it's a lot of risk taking, it's a lot of doing the unknown in order to be successful. So, another thing is um, when I first started the podcast, when I was about to release it, literally, I overheated. Like, I was so hot. I was sweating. I got a headache. Like, I was shaking. I told my friends and my family, like, I'm super nervous. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. Like, people not going to like it. I'm talking shit. Like, all this stuff, right? So, I was like literally freaking out. But because of my strong support system and just me getting out of my head, I was just like, fuck it. Just fuck it, just do it without hesitating. Once I push past that wall of fear and being consistent, um, great things always happen. And it happened to me before, so why not do it again? Okay? Um, I realized that when you believe in your ability to do something, eventually you will step into your purpose without even realizing it. And how that came about for me was that I was writing down, obviously, my goal list, my manifestation, and all stuff like that. And even though you're supposed to look at your goal list like every now and then, I would possibly make a new one, not knowing that my old one was similar to my new one. Duh. And a year later or a few months down later, I would look back at it and I'd be like, oh, hmm, I actually did that. Like I accomplished that without even knowing. And the reason why I wasn't overthinking it or even really remembering that I wrote it down was because I believed it already. I didn't have to worry about it because I believed I could. So I did. Right. So now let's get into some advice that I have learned or am learning to step out of my comfort zone. So, number one, switching up my select choices and things that I usually do out of habit. One of those main things is switching up what I eat off the menu. I am a person of habit when it comes to eating at a restaurant. If I ate at a restaurant and it's something similar to what I ate before at another restaurant, I'm going to get it. Why? Because I have no doubt in my mind that it's going to taste good. So, what I had to do was take myself out of that. Even if it's something small that I'm missing out of that same meal. For instance, Chili's, Cajun chicken pasta. I freaking love that pasta. And instead of getting chicken, I might get shrimp, take a little step. But that's something that's new, that's something that's different. And then I will go off and maybe get something else like honey chipotle chicken with something else or try something else that my friend bought. Like that's something that's stepping out of my comfort zone because I'm so used to the damn Cajun chicken pasta. The second thing is, which is similar to the first thing actually, but doing something you usually wouldn't do. So, something different, for example, for this one is shooting my shot. A few months ago, Denise would have never, ever shot my shot at no dude. Usually if I ever got into a relationship, a situation with a guy, it's because they have put the effort to pursue me. So I never shot my shot because I just was too scared of rejection. I don't like the feeling of rejection. I have to know that you feeling me a little bit, But I shot my shot blind as ever. I shot my shot. I think it was this year or like late last year. Yeah, it was late last year. I shot my shot with someone and it worked out pretty well for me. So that was a good thing, but that was something that obviously I didn't know what the outcome would be. I didn't know what the outcome would be. And so that was scary as hell, but I did the shit anyways. And do it scared, I guess. But that's something that I usually wouldn't do that helped me grow. And even if he was to, reject me or we decide to go a whole nother route or whatever, I still was cool with it because it didn't happen in a bad way. So, but that's another story for another day. But third, you may have to switch up who you're around. When you start doing new things, you have a new mindset. Some people around you might not even attract you anymore because they're so used to doing the same negative thing. And this is not just pertaining to friends. This is pertaining to family. This is pertaining to coworkers, people just who is routinely, sorry, around you. Take heed, take notice, be aware of little things that they say. If you mention something that's out of the box, pay attention to how they react to it. Well, if I say, I was thinking of actually go into that store instead of this other one. I know, it's way on across town, but I'm willing to take that risk of going over there. And the person say, you're not going to find nothing over there anyways. That's all they have is blah, blah, blah. And that's something negative. Why not just say, I mean, go ahead, bro. You never know. You might find something. You know what I'm saying? Like, negative naysayers who are complainers who always have something to say, negative to say, to the outcome that may be too extreme for them, not for you, but for them. And family members, for example, I am one of the only ones, I believe, in my family right now that is into the entertainment business. Obviously, I have a Caribbean background, so usually you are a nurse, you're an engineer, you are in law enforcement, you are going that route. If you are going into entertainment, it's rare that it'll be kind of accepted. And when I first got into it, obviously my parents knew that I was always a creative human being, but me actually pursuing it and actually showing effort and having opportunities that they would only see on TV made them open their eyes and their mind more, that welcomed my decision. And it helped me gain a better support system. But I had to force it, I had to push it and show proof. Some people you might show proof and they still negatives till this day and will continue being negative. You cannot have those people around you if you want to be successful and if you want to get out of your comfort zone. They are your comfort zone. That's it. Fourth thing is I like reading a lot of self-help books lately. Um, and I like reading about other people's journeys. So I read about Kevin Hart's book. I've read Michelle Obama's book. And for this book by Jen Sincero, You Are a Badass, which I freaking love that book. If you haven't read it already, go ahead and pick it up. She read my whole life. It doesn't matter if I stopped and put down the book for a month, pick it back up. She read me and I'm in that moment, like just done. But one of the things she mentioned was not taking a long time to make a decision. This helps with overthinking, procrastinating out of fear. For example, when you go to the grocery store and you are in an aisle and you are picking out, I don't know, barbecue sauce, and you really went in that aisle for one thing and to get up out of there. But you are now in that aisle for 10 minutes deciding on if you want this type of ranch or that type of ranch. And you're wasting time. You're wasting time because you're scared of the wrong decision afterwards. You're scared that you might buy that sauce and it's not going to taste good with whatever you're putting it on, or your significant other is not going to like it. Buy it and roll with it, okay? Jen Sincero, she used to interview a lot of millionaires, and one of their things were to deal with the decision afterwards. Just make it and then deal with it afterwards. Um, you have to take that risk, right? Stepping out of your comfort zone as a whole is taking that risk. So that's what I started doing to get myself out of the habit of taking too long to make decisions. If I'm pondering on something way too long to buy something or to respond back to something, I have to stop doing that, because sometimes you're going to be in a predicament where you cannot take months, weeks, days to make a decision. My boss says this all the time: don't put one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. You have to just keep going, and part of keep going is to make that decision quick and deal with it afterwards, but be safe about it. Don't want y'all to have babies in the wrong situation. But anyways, my last advice is and this is said a lot of times, but get comfortable with being uncomfortable. This is something that I am currently working on right now, because to me it's like a thin line between trusting my gut and it's just my mind playing tricks on me and I am just overthinking it. I always do that. I always say, well, my intuition is telling me that this is not right, but is it my intuition or is it just me overthinking things and dwelling on things? Yet again, sitting with that decision for hours or weeks, trying to postpone it. I have to stop doing that. That is my comfort zone, me sitting there dwelling on things. My comfort zone is not going to make me successful. So, me being uncomfortable now, um, I trust more of my gut instinct and just go with the flow, just go with it. And usually so far it has been working out. So that's a good thing. But what separates the successful from the unsuccessful is your willingness to keep pushing through the challenges. That's something that I also learned from Jensen Searles' book, You Are a Badass. Um, that's what separates you, honestly. And it really makes sense that if you have a blockage, somebody is stopping you or wants to stop you from reaching your goal, you have to remember why you are pursuing what you're pursuing in the first place in order to get over that challenge, in order to be successful. I see a lot of videos all the time of P. Diddy back in the days where he just kept pushing, obviously through difficult times, plenty of it, different challenges, different obstacles that he had to go through, but he still kept on pushing fearlessly. And although he might have been really fucking scared in his mind, he would never let people know that. On the outside, he would just be like, whatever, let's do it. I don't see it as a threat. I don't see it as a problem or issue. Why not? Why can't I get over it? Who says I can't? I'd be great. I'd be a great person. I'd be a legend if I was that one person to make the impossible possible. Nothing is impossible because even in the word, it's I'm possible, period. So that's all I have right now for Liquid Era. I don't like to talk too much or dwell on things. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask me, or if you have any more advice on how you stepped out of your comfort zone, go ahead and email me at liquidera6@gmail.com. That is liquid, LIQUID ERA6@gmail.com. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking. I can either answer you anonymously, privately, or I can answer you over the podcast. Let me know. It's up to you. It's your choice. Follow me at underscore D Brady. That's DEEBRADY. And also follow Liquid Era Instagram, liquid underscore era. Get our followers up, subscribe, write a review, listen, share with your friends, and yeah, live life, do it scared, and step out of your comfort zone, girl. Be around people that help you get out of your comfort zone that you're not even used to doing things, obviously safely, but yeah, just get comfortable with being uncomfortable yet again. And also, I want to share with you guys that in February, I will be dedicating that whole month to obviously about love, relationships, and sex. So, you guys can definitely email me starting now. Any questions, any things that you are going through, or have any thoughts in your head that you would like to share, again, send me an email. I could answer you privately, or I can answer you on this podcast. I will have another R&B playlist out in February dedicated to lovers and, all that type of stuff. I'm single, but hey, I love love. So yeah, this should be really, really interesting. And I'm going to have special guests and I'm super excited. So thank you guys for listening again to Liquid Era. Thank you guys for supporting me and sharing Liquid Era. This is my baby and I'm taking pride in this. I'm taking a risk. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone with this. And I genuinely, genuinely, genuinely appreciate you very much All right, so it's your girl D Brady, over and out.